Hey, this is Jeff with Word for Today, and today's word is trust. And I wanted to share a second about the idea of trust, what it means, or faith. Now, my proposition to you today is to understand that these are two totally different words. They mean things similar, but not the same. Okay, now, and you may have heard this before, but this is a word for someone today. You've been just wondering how to trust God, or what it means, or if you do even trust God, or if it's just a faith issue, and what's the difference. And so this word is for you. If you're confused, I believe this will help you, and I think anybody that is confused about faith, this video will help you. So in Hebrews 11, it talks about all the different heroes of the faith, and if you're familiar with chapter 11 of Hebrews, you'll understand that this is an often understood and discussed topic, because faith people really like the first part of Hebrews 11, but they do not like that last part. And the reason is, and we won't go to it, but I encourage you to read the entire chapter when I'm done. I'll put a link to it if you need to, and if you don't have a Bible. But Hebrews 11 talks about these heroes of the faith, all these different people that by faith, accomplished all these things. You talked about Moses and Abraham, David, Daniel, and other people. I'm just throwing out some names here. These people that were doing and believing God, having faith, and all these great miracles were happening, right? Their prayers are answered. The miracle happened. The Red Sea parted. The 12 disciples were with Jesus on the Sea of Galilee. That's not in there, but I mean, things like that are in that chapter. And I'm just using it as an example. There are so many heroes of the faith in the Bible that had faith for something and then it happened, right? But there's another part of that chapter that the faith people just are done with, which is, it says, and then others were sown into it. Then others were not delivered. And then others were persecuted and chased and destitute and left for dead, and wanderers, and basically chose to have a better resurrection. All of these were accounted worthy for their faith. That's what it says in the book of Hebrews. So now, if faith is only trusting God for something and then it happens, then this makes no sense. To have both in the Hall of Fame of faith of chapter 11 of Hebrews. So this is how I'm suggesting we look at faith. Now, keep in mind, all of our English words are not the original language. There are English translation of an original Hebrew or Greek word, right? So sometimes meaning is missed simply because we are not using the original language if we're talking English, okay? And furthermore, your translation with English, like just with the word love alone, there's like only one word for something the Greek has 3 or 4 words for. Love, right? Because phileo, eros, agape, right? Those are just examples. And that's the 3 Greek words that are for the word love that we only have one word for. And but even if it was the same word, and I'm not even talking about doing a word study here, Hebrews is saying they all have faith. So let's just take that to mean at face value that when you stand for Christ and you do what he wants, like even Jesus, I mean, he had faith, right? He did all these miracles and then he couldn't even stay alive. They crucified him. So he also had trust. He had faith, but he also had trust. And trust is maybe even a deeper type of faith, And that's more, I'm going to believe God even if the miracle doesn't happen. I'm going to follow him even if it doesn't happen, and not necessarily believe God that I need the miracle, but it's going to believe God. It's like you're not really going to put the miracle as the foundation of your life. You're going to keep God as that foundation, and the miracle is not mandatory. It'd be nice, right? That's a way to look at it. And, even when Jesus was saying goodbye to the 12 disciples, he told them, some of you they're going to kill, and some of you, you're going to be alive till I come back. And the disciples were frustrated, like, well, wait a minute, how come some get to stay and some are going to be killed and some are going to be okay? And Jesus said, hey, you live the life I've given you. You live the calling I've given you. You don't worry about your fellow Christian friend here. Let me do what I want to do in his life too. But all of you guys have to trust me, and all of you guys have to have faith in me, and all of you guys, whether I do the miracle or not, have to follow through. So that's a challenge, but I think that might help. So this way you can trust God all the way through. You can have your faith for the miracle. And if for some reason the opposite happens or it doesn't happen the way you wanted to, you haven't destroyed your faith because you still have the trust that keeps your faith, right? It's even a deeper level. So that's how I like to put it. So faith is kind of that first level, but trust is a second level of faith that you have regardless of whether this works out or not in this life, right? All right, so I hope that helps you. God bless you guys. Thanks for listening to the Word for today. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.